6-2. They had a 3-1 lead at one time. Third period underway. The clock is working. And we're watching each team play a man short because of the late penalties to Lemieux and Lomakin. Fedotov, number 14 for the Soviets. Now it's dropped back into the Soviet zone, and Svetlov, who's had a couple of goals for the Soviets tonight, to Perbukin. Now to Semyonov. Moving in to Svetlov. Sergei Svetlov, number 16. Trying to drop it back. Mario Lemieux broke it up, and Canada clear it to center ice. Perbukin there to pick it up. Now shot across onto the other wing. Canada's Gretzky clearing it in. This is Perbukin. Each team a man short, as we mentioned. Perbukin over to Fedotov. He's chased back in there by Mario Lemieux. Now rink wide to Perbukin. Into center ice. Bork knocking it down. Here's Bork for Canada. And a stick save by Beloshakin. Perbukin clears it. And the Soviets control back of their own net and work it to Fedotov. Long pass into center ice. Krutov picks it up for Makarov. Makarov right in. Fuhr kicks that out. And then Crossman cleared it. And Bork has to cover up. Here's Raymond Bork. To Larry Murphy, number 8. Back to Glenn Anderson. Shooting. He shot it just wide. Here's Murphy again. Intercepting was Kasatonov, and here's Fetisov, number 2 for the Soviets. Messier ties him up. Krutov leaves for Kasatonov. Penalized players back onside. Drop pass to Makarov. He tried to pass, and Messier intercepts to Claude Lemieux. Beloshakin away out to clear it, and Makarov gets it into center ice. Kamensky on the fly down left wing. Couldn't get around Norman Rochefort. Puck loose in Canada's end. Claude Lemieux. And it's pinned there as Murphy fell, and we get a stoppage. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Now Victor Tikhonov on the left of your screen. He's been through this many, many times before. Mike Keenan, he hasn't been through this many, many times before. He is earning while you learn here. Doing a great job, though, putting a team together, keeping it together.
Here's Canada trying to break out. Claude Lemieux dropping it back to Craig Hartsburg. Canada trailing by a goal. They dump it in. Gusarov back to clear it. Claude Lemieux fanned on it. And now Hartsburg will chase back for Team Canada. Hartsburg and Rochefort on defense. Canada trailing 3-2. Here's Brian Brock. It's tied up with the referee, Noah. Oh, Rochefort cleared it into center ice. And it's cleared across to Igor Stelnov, number 4. Long shot, almost fooled Fuhr. Now Gilmore quickly clearing it out for Canada. Kasatonov to Stelnov. Back over onto the other wing. And trying to break out is Bekov, number 27. To Homotov. Back to Bekov. And Fuhr to the corner. Clears it up on the boards. Homotov knocking it down. Dropping it back. Shot is off a stick as Perbukin let it go, and it deflects up into the crowd. I'm not sure if that was Fuhr's stick or one of the defenders in front of the net.
You see it either. If you look at Stelnov, the veteran of the Central Army team, who has been sort of, you know, they say, first of all, his skating's not very good. You never talk about a Soviet skater as not being a great skater. But he's part of the Olympic gold medal team, and Sarajevo, stay-at-home type defenseman. Kind of guy you don't hear an awful lot about. He's an unsung type.
Here's Fedotov trying to clear it out, and the Soviets come to center. Nemchinov, number 12, trying to go around Coffey, who rides him out. Nemchinov getting it over onto the other side for Priyakin. Here's Sergei Priyakin. Crossman ties him up. Sutter back for Canada. Out to Howardchuk. And Dale Howardchuk feeds Paul Coffey. Now to Gretzky. Gretzky dropping it, but Priyakin was there to intercept. Priyakin, number 22. Lets a weak shot go wide. Coffey back for Canada. Tries to clear it. Howardchuk races after it. Fetisov is there. Fetisov for the Soviets. Loses to Gretzky. Gretzky shoots right on. Fellow shaken with a save. Fetisov gave it up to Gretzky, and you don't see him do that often. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Mentioned that Fetisov is playing a pretty good game here. One of the best I've seen him play in a couple of years. But well, lots of guys have made this mistake with Wayne Gretzky around. Gretzky just has a way of smelling those things out. And got to produce a pretty good scoring chance.
Face-off deep in the Soviet zone. Semyonov against Mario Lemieux, and Semyonov clears it to Fetisov. Out to Lomakin, and now back in the corner, an injured player. Semyonov with the Soviets down on the ice.
I didn't see that either, but he got raped out there. Maybe we'll get a chance to see it here. Claude Lemieux is right there. Here he comes. Oh, I tell you, he pays a price. He makes you pay a price, as we've said before. And right there, Anatoly Semyonov, Soviet All-Star center in 1985, and a great skater. Lemieux. Very much involved. It's the second Lemieux. Better on the offensive side of the game. Semyonov a bit shaken by all of that. Speaking of injuries, we should mention that Rick Tocchet hasn't played since early in the second period. He is out with a knee injury, as if Mike Keenan doesn't have enough trouble. He's finished for the night, but we haven't got a final diagnosis on it. And with the injuries he's going to undergo now, he's playing a man short as it is tonight.
A couple of other forwards were unable to suit up, Kevin Dineen and Michel Goulet. So they're undermanned up front. Here's Krutov. Head manning it for Makarov, number 24. Hartsburg trying to tie him up. Makarov centered. Kasatonov, but it's tipped away on a good play by Glenn Anderson defensively. Shot ahead. Rochefort couldn't get it. Now Anderson stick handling in, but Fetisov is there for the Soviets. Juk Krutov. Back for Fetisov. That's Gartner back checking. Takes Fetisov out, and Messier beating to Glenn Anderson. Into center ice to Hartsburg. Hartsburg fires it in. Shot away. Krutov trying to get it. Pokes it to Makarov. And Larry Murphy takes over for Canada at his own blue line. To Rochefort. Now back to Murphy. Flipped in by Canada. Mario Lemieux in, knocks a man down, centered. Another Soviet player down and injured. Here's Murphy centering. Gusarov cleared it. Murphy again. Shot hit Fetisov. Now in behind the net. Drop for Canada. Centered it. Claude Lemieux a whack at it. And Bekov breaks away for the Soviets. Bekov moving in. Shoots. Kick save. Rebound. Bounced off a man. Right back into the goal crease. Fior had to stop that too. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
There's Big Fetisov on the bench. Close call after he lost his stick. That's Mario Lemieux who got him in up against the board. Seemed to jab him perhaps. He took a heavy fall right there. Gets back up as he realizes that play is still going on inside the zone. And the puck's going to come back out. Watch his left foot here as he plays soccer. Kick save. Goaltender couldn't have done it better.
14:02 left in the third period. Soviets 3, Canada 2. Bekov against Brent Sutter in the Canada zone. And it's won by Canada. Here's Gretzky to Sutter. Homotop took him out. Sutter clearing it in. Bellow shaken. Leaves it there for Stelnov. Off the boards. Picked up by Kamensky. Trying to drop it back to Homotop. Gretzky back checking, knocked it away. Homotop to Kamensky. Number 13, Valery Kamensky. Can't get it centered, and Sutter fires it into center ice for Howardchuk. Takes over and flips it in. Going back to Stelnov, number 4. Up the middle to Bekov. Now Kamensky to Bekov. Can't get across the blue line. Kamensky fires it in. Rochefort is there. Rochefort up the middle, picked up by Gretzky to Gardner. Gardner leaves for Gretzky. Gretzky flipped it in front. Shaken cleared it. Gretzky put it through the crease. Rochefort moving in to Gretzky. Out in front, chipped away by the Soviet defense. And then shot down the ice by Bekov. It'll be icing. No, it won't be as Fuhr touches it. And Pervukin is there to break a play up. Into center ice for Priakin. Now Gardner for Team Canada trying to get away from Himmelev. Now being whacked at by Nemchinov. Puck loose in center ice. Here's Bourque. Canada changing on the play. Bourque passes to Doug Gilmour. He took a hit but tipped it in. Now Gilmour getting the puck loose. He gets knocked down. Puck still in play back of the net. Soviets trying to shoot it. Held in a drive off the shoulder of Shaken, or off his mask, I'm not sure which, and up into the crowd.
I guess we could run a clinic on hitting and being involved just on Claude Lemieux in this game. Lemieux just in the middle of everything here tonight. Boom, that's Pervukin. Now he gets it again, takes a shot. He's not going to give up at that point as Nemchinov gets him. So, Otto Lemieux off the head of goaltender Shaken and up into the crowd. Oh, he just keeps stirring it up.
And he stays up there with Mario Lemieux at center, Prop on the other wing. 12:08 to play. Claude Lemieux for the Montreal Canadiens. Here he is again, back of the net. Got it in front. But it's Fetisov breaking away. To Lomakin, number 23. He's checked and Larry Murphy intercepts. To Mario Lemieux. Over for Prop, but knocked back out. Murphy is there. And it's offside at the Soviet blue line. You mentioned the latest injury to Canada. By the way, Prop was rather doubtful for tonight's game with some kind of injury too. Gretzky, Anderson, and Howard-Chuck up front for Canada. They're against the Soviet line of Larionov, Krutov, and Makarov. And here's Krutov to Larionov. Crossman trying to tie him up. Now broken up at the blue line by Canada. Here's Anderson. But Fetisov stepped into him and got the worst of that as he lost his helmet. Kasatonov now trying to clear it. Comes in front, and here's Fetisov, who for the second time in the game has had his helmet knocked off. To Larionov to Fetisov. Fetisov to Kasatonov. Cutting in, backhander, he shot it just wide. Crossman, back of the net, runs into Howard-Chuck. Howard-Chuck trying to fire it out of there. And going back is Stelnov, number 4. Igor Stelnov. Dropping it for Gusarov. Now to Makarov, he's checked. Makarov again. Couldn't get around Murphy. Bekov in to try and get it. Canada clear it. Stelnov held it in. Bekov has it. Over to Gusarov. Murphy takes him out. Soviets trying to center out in front. Was Kamensky, but his shot was blocked. And Canada clear it to center ice. Bekov back to get it. Homotov now controlling. To Stelnov. Over to Gusarov. Into center ice. Homotov, number 15, to Bekov, number 27. Trying to leave it for Kamensky. Now Bekov a shot anyway. Here's Kamensky. In front. Cleared by Fuhr. Murphy able to clear it out of there. Soviets lead 3-2. Stelnov to Homotov. Now to Nemchinov. Shoots one off the blocker or glove of Fuhr, and Canada now start out of there. Here's Rochefort to Sutter. Sutter dumping it in. Sutter digs in. Taken out in the corner by Nemchinov, and the Soviets quickly clear it out of there. Hartsburg back for Canada. Here's a loose puck taken by Pervukin. Dropped back to his own line for Dodotov. The Dotop up on left wing. The number 8, Himalev. And Pure stops it back to the net. Rochefort for Canada. Leaving it for Hartsburg. Quickly to Gartner. Now to Gretzky. Gretzky moving in. Drop pass back. Anderson shoots. Fellow shaking the save. Dives up to cover up the rebound. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's Bobby Hull way up in the crowd there, getting a good hand from the fans. A couple of great saves were the hand as well. First of all, Biela shaken right in front of the net, just gloving it, and he has to dive out and grab that one. That was the one that caused the whistle. Prior to that, Grant Pure made a pretty good play in his own right down at the other end with that glove hand of his. So the goaltenders have been the story here in this game. It's 3-2. The Soviet Union leading Canada.
9:05 to play. A win or a tie would wrap up first place for Canada. Here's Lomack at number 23. Soviets must win to finish first. Now centering pass to Semyonov, number 30. Trying to get it in front. Semyonov again. On the boards. Into the corner for Fetisov. Out in front, and now play is called in front of the net. Frostman got tangled up in front of the goal with the Soviet player. I think it was Triakin. And we're going to get a penalty here. Actually, it was Lomakin. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
The fellow with the rather bemused look there is Viktor Tikhonov, the head coach of the Soviet Union. One of his players has just picked up a slashing penalty. Lomakin right in front of the net. There's a bit of a scramble out in front there. Lomakin, number 23, involved, and well, obviously might know it. Look from over in the corner, had a view there, but Mr. Tikhonov didn't have, and I didn't have.
Well, I'm cheering for Canada, but that was ridiculous. Anyway, Canada on a power play with Lomakin in the penalty box. Here's Kasatona firing it off the boards and down the ice. Pure clears it up. Messier knocks it back to the net. Canada with the man advantage. Bork giving it to Messier. Messier to Gretzky. Over on the boards, and Semyonov intercepts and flips it down the ice. That's Bork giving it to Coffey. Canada with the power play. Coffey fires it in. Here's Coffey holding it in. Shot right on. Messier just missed the rebound, and Krutov breaks out for the Soviets. Krutov checked by Gretzky. Now Lemieux carries in, but Messier was already in ahead of the play offside.
Great work in the center ice zone by Wayne Gretzky. Hooked that puck free, and Messier cruising just inside the line caused the offside. That's still a pretty good-looking power play out there with Gretzky and Lemieux and Messier and Coffey and Bork. Gretzky doing an awful lot of work out there.
Canada's 1 for 3, by the way, tonight on the power play. The Soviets have not had a power play opportunity.
And considering the rather robust way that Canada has played this game, and I think that's polite, I think that it is rather strange. Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux now coming off the ice, and I think we've got a timeout being called at 7:46 remaining in the period. Here's a scoring chance in front. Now right in front there's Messier as everybody overskates it, and Krutov turns with it. Good chance right in front of that net. Some good traffic, getting people in, of course, to cause some interference. So Team Canada has called a timeout at a critical time here during the power play with 1:02 left in the power play situation. Lomakin in the penalty box. They'd like to get a goal here. They'd need a tie or a win will clinch first place for Canada. A skate blade being worked upon down in the bench area. Maybe a new blade for Gretzky. That's the reason for the timeout. Gretzky was the one who came over to the bench first, and just want him to finish this power play if he can. Well, he is the old days, you'd have to go in the dressing room and take it off and have a new edge put on it, or get the practice skates. And once you're breaking in, go out and play on those.
Even the trainers use modern science today.
Oh.
Still a minute 2 left in the penalty to the Soviets. Lomakin. Messier ready for a face-off with Krutov at the Soviet line. Won by Canada and controlled by Bourque. Bourque can copy the point men with Gretzky, Lemieux, and Messier up front. Gretzky fires it in. Beloshakin firing it up on the boards. Gretzky has it. Gretzky shoots. Beloshakin pad save. Now Lemieux and Krutov in the corner. Around to Gretzky. Gretzky to Lemieux. Band on it. Copy at the point. Into the corner to Gretzky. Gretzky trying to get it in front. Messier is there, but well covered. Gretzky still with it. Now spots Bourque. They score from behind the net, I believe. No goal, says Noah.
Well, he was right there.
Shot seemed to carry him and go to the goal line, but not in, apparently.
Well, we can't even see it from our angle either. The referee was standing right at the line. See, as they try to jam it out in front now. Gretzky throwing it out in front, and looking behind him was Beloshakin, but that angle doesn't tell us anything. Messier thought it was in the net, and I think he was going to try. Look where the referee is standing right there. He has got there it is. There you see the puck. Right there, underneath, between the legs of Stelnov, the defenseman. This will afford us, I think, a better view. Again, he's just trying to force it out. There it comes out. It went off the skate of Gusarov there and then under his pad. So you can see where Noah was. He had an absolutely good view of it.
24 seconds left in Lomakin's penalty. Gretzky on the faceoff. Canada trailing 3-2. Gretzky to Copy. Over on the boards to Bourque. Back to Copy. Shooting. That deflects off Bekov and goes up high into the crowd.
12 seconds left in the power play now. Bekov blocking that one beautifully. And again, when you start to tee it up, don't get that shot in there quickly enough. You allow good skaters to get in the way. Here's a big slap shot, and Bekov was there to sprawling to knock it high up into the crowd.
Bekov, a little guy at 5'8", 155 pounds. He's out there for this face-off with Messier. 12 seconds left in the penalty. 6:56 left in the game. 3-2 Soviets. On the face-off, Messier getting it. And unable to hold it in was Bourque, and he has to backtrack. Bourque to Copy. Copy spins away from a check. Paul Copy. Penalized player Lomakin back on. And the Soviets fire it out of there. Bekov racing after it, but Fuhr came out to the blue line. Cleared it. Now Canada break away. Here's Gretzky. In with Lemieux. Gretzky to Mario Lemieux. Tipped away. Held in by Bourque. To Gretzky. Pass was behind Lemieux, and Homatov starts back. But now back to the play. Did somebody grab the linesman,
Somebody grabbed Kevin Collins at the bench, and whistle went at that point. There's going to be a penalty, and it's going to be a bench penalty.
This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Well, there you see the discussion right now. Now watch to the far left of your screen. That's Kevin Collins up against the boards there, and he is about to be grabbed by Tikhonov. And an unsportsmanlike penalty has been called. Now Tikhonov likes to stress discipline. He made a terrible act of undiscipline right there, and he has been nailed for it. You don't touch an official. I don't care where you are. And Kevin Collins, as soon as he was grabbed, blew the whistle and called the penalty himself. Now we're not sure it was Tikhonov. It could have been one of the players. Tikhonov was right there. Let's see again, if we can, what happened. Same view. Now see if we can see somebody reaching out there. There was a player. There was a player, and Tikhonov's there as well. And you can see Kevin Collins reacting. He has called the penalty.
They're over there explaining it to the Soviet bench about why the penalty is.
He knows very well why the penalty is. He's had a tough night. I'll tell you, there have been some penalties called in this game and some that haven't been called. And Gord Rossiger in the middle of that now, along with North. Certain discussion about the Finnish referee the other night in the game involving the U.S., but there'll be some discussion about this one too. We'll take a break right now as the argument rages. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Attendance for tonight's game.
Well, Tikhonov is going to make his point well before play resumes. I can't believe he's the one that grabbed it. I have to think a player.
He seems to have injured his finger anyway.
Number 13.
Yeah, maybe his own player to tell him to desist.
Kamensky will serve the penalty, by the way, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. 6:20 to play in Canada with another power play right here. Canada 1 for 4 with the power play tonight. 6:20 to play. Now you see 6:17. And Canada with the man advantage, trailing 3-2. Here's Messier. Dropping it back for Bourque. Ray Bourque to Messier. Makarov intercepts. Krutov trying to break away. Coffey the only man back. Krutov to Makarov, who was open but couldn't get the pass. Makarov over to Krutov. Soviets have already scored a shorthanded goal tonight. Now it's Bourque. Ray Bourque to Gretzky. Cleared in. Back to get it and clearing it. Gusarov held in by Bourque. Into Gretzky. Gretzky trying to center. And it's intercepted by Stelnov. Fired out to Krutov. A minute left in the Soviets' penalty. Krutov in across the line. Mario Lemieux knocks it away. Now Makarov to Kasatonov, who drops it to Fetisov. Fetisov for the Soviets. Skated off by Anderson, and Glenn Anderson takes over. Off the boards to Gretzky. Kasatonov and Gretzky to the corner. Kasatonov took him out. Flips it up on the boards. Coffey pinching in. But Semyonov gets it. And cleared it away past Coffey. Here's a break. He has Svetlov with him, but Coffey gets back to break it up. Svetlov now dropping it back to Kasatonov. And some great penalty killing here by the Soviets. Svetlov moves in. And he just fires it back down to Fetisov. And that will kill off the rest of the penalty. As Kamensky is back on. And the Soviets killed it off brilliantly. Now Murphy for Team Canada. Out to Sutter on right wing. Sutter flipping it through. Verbuchen there for the Soviets to fire it right back out. And it bounces down the ice. Murphy back to get it. No icing on the play, so Murphy starts to carry up, now drops it to Glenn Anderson. Less than 4 minutes to play. 3-2 the Soviets. No overtime, remember, in the Canada Cup competition. It'll just go into the books as a tie. And right now, that's what Canada's hoping for. They're trailing by a goal. Here's a loose puck taken by Anderson. Cutting in. And a diving defensive play made to break that up by number 14, Fedotov. And then we get a stoppage as the Soviet player has fallen on the puck. And some sticks go up high down in the corner.
And right in the middle of that is Fetisov, the big fella, who has been in a brawl. He was involved with Jimmy Johnson of the Pittsburgh Penguins in a game with the United States a couple of years ago at the World Hockey Tournament. Wound up with some suspensions. Glenn Anderson skating much better in this game as he tries to go around. And he is upended, the goaltender, and maintains his balance and stays with the play. Shots on goal, Canada 10, the Soviets 4, but The quality, this is a deceptive one because the quality of shots, I don't think in this period for Canada have been all that great. This is one of those situations where you can't say that Canada outplayed the Soviets by a 10-4 margin.
And they've had a couple of back-to-back power play situations. 3:29 to play. On the face-off, Stelnov coming up with it. Out on right wing for Priakin, number 22. Bork checks him. Bork firing it in. Mario Lemieux digs in after it. Claude's right behind him. Mario Lemieux comes up with it. Lemieux, number 66 for Canada. Long reach. Look at that stick work. Gets it in front. Claude Lemieux can't get the shot off. He was tied up. And Priakin comes back. Less than 3 minutes to play. Priakin upended by Murphy. And the puck will wind up underneath Sergei Priakin. And we'll get a stoppage. And they'll move the faceoff outside Team Canada's blue line. 2:47 left in the third period.
Priakin looking up at the referee as if to say, well, what about this now? Did he not, or did he not throw Halmy down? I'd have to say he did haul him down. No penalty call.
And to make matters worse, they moved the faceoff outside the blue line because Priakin fell on top of the puck.
It's a frustrating night for the Soviets, except one thing. The redeeming thing is that they lead on the scoreboard on a shorthanded goal.
If the Soviets win, they finish first in the round robin and would play Czechoslovakia. Canada would finish second and meet Sweden. Meanwhile, a tie or a victory would mean Canada would finish first and they would play Czechoslovakia in the semifinal on Wednesday night in Montreal. And the Soviets would have to play Sweden, and the Soviets already lost to Sweden. Here's Canada controlling. Fired into center ice to Messier. Over to Crossman. Doug Crossman moving in, centers, Messier. Fired it in front. Oh, Anderson almost scored. A shot, they score! Crossman ties this game up.
Look at the bench empty. Everybody off the bench. Boy, this has been a hard uphill struggle. It hit the post first, right behind them. Good effort there, but it went right through, hit the post right there. Now it goes in. Crossman got it.
Well, I don't know if Crossman got it or did Gretzky put it in before Crossman got there.
All right, we'll watch it again. Gretzky going for the net there. Here it comes. Anderson reaches out, throws it in there. Now it's lying loose. It was Gretzky who got the goal. Crossman was there, but Gretzky reached for it.
2:27 left. Canada has tied it on a goal by Wayne Gretzky.
Number 2, Doug Crossman.
Well, that will be changed, I think. The replays demonstrate that Gretzky got the puck before Crossman got there. So Wayne Gretzky
15 minutes, 33 seconds.
picks up his second point of this game.
Well, they announced it as being scored by Crossman, but I'm sure Gretzky, now they change it to Gretzky.
Just announced it as Gretzky. So the scorers had to look at the replays.
Assistant on number 2, Doug
2:27 to play when Gretzky tips it in to tie this game at 3. Gretzky from Crossman and Anderson at 17:33. Gretzky's second goal of this Canada Cup.
So Gretzky now has, of course, taken over the lead in the scoring in this tournament. 10 points already in 5 games.
A tie would do it for Canada. Remember, no overtime. It'd just be a tie, and Canada would finish first and play Czechoslovakia Wednesday night in a semifinal game at the Montreal Forum. Here's Gretzky stealing to Howard Tuck, who was open but couldn't control it. Now Gretzky out in front, stick handling in. Couldn't get the shot up center to Murphy. Bellows shaking a big save. After some great playmaking again by number 99.
Well, I don't know whether it was 99 catching fire or the Soviets a little down right now. A little loose in their own zone, having their problems. Shaken with that butterfly style of his, and he seems to be on the limp a bit. Great move by Gretzky. Maintained possession. Out there, I think Shaken may have twisted his knee. And then he righted himself and made the save on Murphy. But watch Shaken. He's off balance here as Gretzky went behind the net. Now he gets up, and right there, he turned the wrong way, and I think he may have wrenched the knee a little bit. He turned up on the limp, but he's all right. He'll stay in the game. Came up with a big save. Right now, the Soviets have to try and come back. They want to. The only thing they can do in order to get first place is win this game. They can't settle for a tie.
Canada led by 1 point coming in the standings, so all they would need would be a tie to wrap up first place. And it's tied now. Less than 2 minutes to play. Kamensky breaks away. Kamensky cuts in, Pure the save. Rebound, the net was knocked off. Beckhoff fired it into the net after it had been knocked loose. And play is called, and there's no goal.
Well, they play the net about 15 feet askew. That would have been a goal. The shot would have missed the net completely. Good play right in front of the net there as Kamensky moved in. But when he tried to cut around the goalpost, he was pushed in there by Crossman. And I think that may be Kamensky. No, it's the Team Canada players down. Gretzky. Well, and I don't know what happened there. Anytime you see that, you start to break into a cold sweat. We'll see if we can see what happened in front of the net.
Last Canadian's goal.
Gretzky there is upended in front. There he is. He's knocked down, and then the shot came in, and he just seemed to be turned around on the play. Knocked the wind out of him a bit.
Well, they further changed the tying goal. Gretzky from Anderson and Messier in the scoring play. 17:33 the time. 1:38 left. No overtime, folks. It's tied at 3. Canada just needing a tie to wrap up first place. Omotov giving it across to Gusarov. Now down the right wing side. Here's a quick shot by Kamensky. It's wide of the target. Canada break out of there. Here's Messier. Over to Bork. Bork flipping it in. Soviets go back. That's Stelnov. Anderson in to tie him up. Shot. Bellows shaking the save. 1 minute left in the third period. Canada needing just a tie to finish first. Here's Stelnov. Drops it to Gusarov. Up the middle for Krutov. Soviets on the attack. Makarov. Makarov, number 24. Centered. Kazatonov and Rochford blocked that shot. Kazatonov really teed it up. What a good block by Rochefort. Now Sutter holding it against the boards with Larionov. 32 seconds left.
Pulling the goaltender is not something that is done much in international hockey, although we saw it done the other night for the Czechoslovakian game. And shaken down in the goal crease area. Now they need the win in order to clinch first place, but I have a feeling he's going to stay in the net. We'll see.
If it ends this way, Canada would play Czechoslovakia Wednesday night in Montreal. The Soviets would play Sweden here in Hamilton on Tuesday in the other semifinal. Buck shot in. And Makarov drops it back. Fetisov with 20 seconds left. Fetisov can't get away from Mike Gartner. Gartner in for checking. Knocks it on the boards. Here's Propp to Gartner. Gartner from behind the net trying to swoop it in. Bellows shaking a save. Look at Gartner. Work hard. 4 seconds left. Fetisov cleared it. This game is over. Canada and the Soviets tie 3-3. And that's the way the final game of the round-robin tournament winds up here in Hamilton. Canada will play Czechoslovakia Wednesday night in Montreal. The Soviets and Sweden will play in the other semifinal here in Hamilton on Tuesday night.
Soviets did not want to play Sweden. It's the one thing they didn't want. They lost to them in the first game of this tournament, and they lost to them, or at least were tied by them, and lost the World Championship to them back at the World Championships in Vienna earlier this year. And there are the final standings of the preliminary round of the Canada Cup, and Canada runs through it undefeated with 2 ties, an opening tie against Czechoslovakia, and a final tie here, 3-3 tonight.
Canada outshot the Soviets 16-5 in the third period, and the game ends 3-3. Let's go to the ice surface at our post-game ceremonies.
For the Soviet Union team, who will receive a Canon EOS camera, is number 16, Sergei Svetlov. The Levant player of the game for Team Canada, who will receive the complete set of 10 1988 Olympic Winter Game coins, courtesy of Canadian Tire, is number 11, Mark Messier. Hockey Canada and Levant, thank you for your...
The final score, Canada 3, the Soviet Union 3 here in Hamilton. This is the Levant Canada Cup on CTV.
Over 17,000 fans at Conch Coliseum in Hamilton watch a 3-3 tie between the Soviet Union and Canada. Actually a bit of an uphill battle for the Canadians. Grant Fuhr was perfect in the first period, faced 16 shots by the Soviets, and many of them were quality. Finally, the Soviets broke through in a 7-minute span in the second period to build a 3-1 lead, but Canada showed grit in coming back for the tie. It's Canada on Wednesday. We'll see the Soviets on Tuesday.